Oh man, not nothing. She was still doing that same thing at work, trying to be quiet around
Yeah, I know it. I know it.
here.
Yeah, I stopped them weekends, man. I said I can't do it no more, man. I can't. I just took
Yeah.
too many years off my life. But
Doing that.
oh yeah, I want to jump on spot. So I want to do a quick recap of last weekend. And for those who was with us last weekend, we went over to MACD and Stochastic, working together to get in and out of some trades on all time frames. And this week we was making some magic happen, right, Sharman? You was right there with us, and we made some nice things happen over throughout this week here. Let me shift my screen so I can take off pretty much all my EMAs. Okay. Um, like the stochastic real quick. And we was doing more so on futures on NQ, but of course it works with everything. Let's take off the let me take off my EMAs right now. Don't need that. You don't even need the algo. I didn't even trade SPY much, and it was working crazy. I'm seeing one right here. This was happening. What this happened? That's not even this week. This is this week right here. That's this Thursday, right? So this is on the 15-minute. We was on our 2-minute, 5-minute kick. We was on the 1 minute. We was having a whole bunch of fun this week, just playing this strategy where stochastic could be overbought, MACD crossover, and almost instantaneous money, making some money. You can even play to the upside. I like to play it on multiple time frames, but the MACD was oversold. And you want to go with the trend if you can. So every time we're in the downtrend, every time it gets to overbought, when that MACD cross, run it. There's money to be made. So we was having fun this week. We was having fun. We was doing it on the futures floor on NQ. We called a couple of big plays. Me and one of our phenomenal members, Mommy, we were making it happen, calling double tops and bottoms and catching moves like this big baby right here. This was at the end of the day. This was crazy at the end of the day for some of y'all who caught that. Overbought,
Caught that.
MACD crossover, bam, big money in 2 minutes. It was crazy. How many ticks is this? This last candle right here. Oh my gosh. 78 tick, 90 ticks. Oh my, this candle right here is 111 ticks. Now, for those who don't know, NQ and futures, this is $5 per tick. So imagine making over $500 in 2 minutes. Like, bada boom, bada bang, you know. If you caught it on the caution candle, shout out to the cheat code. If you caught it on the caution candle, you could have made even more money in this last 4 minutes. This move right here was 170 something ticks, almost 170 ticks total. Wow. But yeah, so the MACD and the stochastic strategy was working, you know, it works all the time, but it worked really well this week. And there's a really high hit strategy if you take your profits fast, like I do. I'll be in and out in seconds. That's another play, right? A couple of look at this. This is on the 2-minute chart. So you could do 2 minute, you could do the hourly, you could do the 5-minute, the 15-minute. Once that stochastic is overbought, MACD crossed over, bada boom, bada bang. That was last Friday. Always some money to be made. Always some money. It's got to be fast. You got to be fast. We had a nice uptrend going in here. Got oversold. MACD crossed up. Bada boom, bada bang. And this is all this week. This was just us Friday. We got a nice oversold, hit a previous support area. MACD crossed up. We got a Boosie candle here, 1142. MACD crossed up on that candle. Wow. Nice move. Friday morning. I was sleeping. I missed this whole move. See,
Hey, Steve, I got a question.
talk to me.
Okay, so can you buy futures like you do stocks? Like, do you can buy and sell on a flip of a switch, or do you have to wait for someone to buy a contract like in options?
It's the way that these things happen instantaneously with the futures market.
Uh-huh.
There's millions of buyers and traders at any point in time, seconds. So when I say you get, like, if you already have it set, like you hit that buy button, and this is the instantaneous buy. You can do what's called a bracket order, where you can set up where exactly, like say at this level right here, I want to, whereas with 14685.50, I want it when that crosses that area, I want to buy in. You can set that up over here and say, I want to take profits at say like 20 ticks, and I want to stop loss at 10 ticks. So it'll be like a 2-to-1 ratio.
Okay.
You can
So when
set
I
that
hear
up.
people say stop loss, no one stopped them out. You already set your stop loss.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you
Okay.
set your stop loss for exactly how much you want to lose, how much you're willing to lose on that trade. And I like to do structure, so I'll find out where my level is going to be at, and I can plot that in here and say, "Wait, I want to stop loss here. I want to take profit here. You know, or maybe a 2-to-1 ratio or what have you. Or I can just follow the ticks as it's going in my direction, and I'll have my stop loss. I can set it up like that. I don't have to necessarily set up a take profit automatically. I can, but the stop loss is something that you definitely want to take, because this thing moves extremely fast. And if it goes against you and you're wrong, you want to be wrong fast, get me out to trade, and bada boom, bada bang. But when I say it triggers you instantaneously, it's way faster. You don't have to wait like in options
Okay, thank you.
hope you get filled. Yeah, nah, you're going to get in. And yeah, you're definitely going to get in. All right, cool. So I just want to do a quick recap. So did anybody play this strategy last week or this week, or back test it? Like I told y'all, because I want y'all to back test everything you do. Don't take my word for nothing. Take it with a grain of salt. Anything I show y'all, please back test it.
I wasn't really able to hear the strategy because I was outside.
You was outside.
Is it something specific or different than what you taught before?
Nah, Krista, you know it. The MACD and stochastic 2-minute strategy.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
No. You know it. You already know how I do.
What's
You've
up,
heard this
Steve?
strategy a million times. What's going on?
I back tested, and went pretty good. I added a trend line break to it,
Mm-hmm.
so that coincides. A trend line break or retest usually it'll line up with it, and also I drew levels on the MACD. That helped a lot. I know Jason can do that a lot. That
Yes.
helped a lot.
So you enjoyed the back testing. You saw that it worked quite often. It was a high. You're gonna make some money.
Yeah, most definitely.
All right, cool. What am I doing now? Go take off Fibonacci. All right, cool. So today, what I'm gonna go over is, and you can add stochastic and MACD with this too, but I want to go over the basics. This is a very basic strategy. This is one that I've taught before, but you know, the way I set up these strategy sessions, I want to go over. I've learned so much over the years. I just want to share them with you guys, and let you guys take what you made from it and enjoy it.
Steve,
Nah, not a problem. What's up, big brother?
those buy signals are ridiculously accurate.
Yeah.
Like mine does not do that. I stopped using the algo only because the buy and sell signals were not very accurate. I couldn't, follow them, read I just was getting confused. So I might need to screenshot if you're open to that. So I can screenshot your settings.
Oh, for my algo is the same as everybody else's. I don't got no changes on the algo.
What?
You know what it is? You see, the thing is, it's all based on where you see. You say they're accurate, but they're accurate based on the levels that we're looking at, how we're looking at the market, right? Because it's one of those. I like the algo for helping me see what I already see. Oh, I'm seeing this. Okay, the algo is saying the same thing, bada boom, bada bang. But that's because you're getting nicer with it without looking at the algos. If you do where you would take the play, turn it off, say where I would take the play, then turn the algo on, you'd be like, oh, Okay.
Right. Now, is this just the out the box settings? Because if it is,
Yeah.
I'll slap
I
it right
don't
back
change.
on. Oh,
Yep. Well,
okay.
yeah, I don't
Okay.
change
Okay.
anything with that. When it comes to the algo, I don't mess with that thing. I let it do what it do. And it confirms what I see. If I see something happening and it's confirming it, I'm not gonna mess with it. Nah.
Okay.
So today, I'm kind of gonna give like a 2-for-1 in a sense. If anybody knows who Oliver Velez is, he's a very bad, I don't know, curse, but he's a really fantastic trader, and he teaches a lot on YouTube and stuff like that. And he's actually traded, taught quite a lot of future hedge fund managers and hedge fund people. They send their people to him, to train, and he does a very simple strategy that I learned. Is it's a lot of it's like pullbacks and such, retracements, and the way he teaches is really simple, like a 5-year-old can follow. So I do like that. But I'm also going to be going over my 6 and 17 EMA crossover strategy that a lot of people seem to like, because it's simple. It's almost it's kindergarten stuff. It works good, right? Like, it works good. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna throw in my EMAs, and I'm gonna take off, all the as much clutter as I can. And I don't not the algo. I'll take off the algo for right now, and I'm gonna take off all the other EMAs. You can leave on like to your 200 if you like or whatever, but I'm gonna shut down. I want to keep it as simple as possible. So this is I was already doing the 6 or 17 strategy, because I do like EMA crossovers because they're delayed. They're actually more delayed than like the MACD and everything else. But what it does give you is a little bit of confidence on what most people are doing, right? So when these two cross, when the smaller one, which is the 6, that's my gold one, crosses over the white one, which is my 17, it can ignite an entry to that direction, to the upside. And when it crosses down, it could ignite an entry to the downside. Does it work every time? No, nothing does. So I like to combine that with higher time frames, maybe oversold, overbought conditions, support and resistance, things like that. Or you can just be like, I'm gonna take every one of them and see what happens. You can do that too. And the funny part is Jeff and I, one of our other mods here in the cheat code, we actually was able to back test it here in TradingView on the hourly basis. And he uses the 5 and 13 EMAs, where I use the 6 and 17. Both of them had a very extreme high win rate over like 1,000 trades. So, that just confirmed what we already knew, but we had some numbers to back it up as well. So if you do look, I like to use multiple time frame analysis when I do trade. So I like to see, like, say the daily is starting to look like it's getting weak. Let's go to the daily real quick. When the daily is starting to look like it's getting weak, I'll go down to the hourly and see where I can catch a EMA crossover to the downside, right? So let me see if I can catch where was the first one. I should have put a line. Let me put a line here for you guys. So when we start to see lower highs, we got to start looking into, okay, this thing could possibly begin. Or you can use like the stochastic RSI. When that thing starts to break down, coming out of oversold, overbought, you can say, okay, that's starting to turn down on a daily. Let's go look on the hourly and see if we can catch a EMA crossover to the downside. So let's see somewhere in like July 31st. Let me see something. Let's go down to the hourly. Let me see if that coincides. Okay, cool. So we were getting a lot of double tops, triple tops, quadruple tops here. It couldn't break this level right here, right? On the hourly. We already saw on the daily was starting to look like it's getting weak, going in lower highs. And eventually we had an EMA cross to the downside here on the hourly, right? Which led to this whole move going down. Now, if you are a swing trader, this is good, like on the hourly, the 2 hour, the 4 hour, to catch these EMA crosses. on like on the lower time frames because you can hold it when you see they're starting to get weak on a bigger time frame. You look on the lower time frame, get these EMA crosses, you're getting in. You're not the earliest, you're not at the top, but you're getting in at a good time when this thing may be turning around. So, and it's easy because you can set alerts for these EMA crossovers and say, okay, cool. I see the bigger time frame getting weak. Let me look on a lower time frame. Let me set a alert. So when that alerts me, I can see I'm getting in the trade. And then you can kind of like just set it for a couple of days, couple of weeks. Well, I would say a couple of days. If you're working with the hourly time frame as far as your entry, and you're looking at the bigger time frame, like the daily or the 4 hour, I would only expect it for 2 or 3 days for it to pan out. For it could be a lot longer, but just maybe a couple of days because I'm looking to take my profits quick within a day or two. That's just me personally. And you can ride this wave sometimes because once that EMA crosses back up, that means that the buyers has taken over again for at least for a short period of time. But it can lead to something big. But if you can withstand the weather, you can make some big profits following these EMAs as long as they don't cross back up. But as you can see, as this particular one crossed over, there was money to be made in the first couple of hours. Yes, you had a retracement, but you were in profit. And if you let that profit go, that's on you. You can always get back in. It's like I always say, we get a nice pullback, it starts to go down again. The EMAs never cross back over. You can jump back in and follow it some more. And when the EMAs cross up, we can go over EMAs and crossovers all day. Like I've done this class a couple of times, man, and we've seen some serious moves over the years. Crossover, is there money there? Absolutely. Crossover, is there money there? Absolutely. And when you combine this with and this is just on one chart. If you combine this with, like I said, with a higher time frame chart and only take the ones in the direction that is where it's getting weak and taking it on the flip side, or if it's in the trend and then on a lower time frame, you get a pullback and it crosses down, and then you wait for it to cross back up, you can jump in on that. It can be magical. So can these piss you off sometimes? Yeah. Sometimes you're gonna get a crossover and then it crosses right back over. You're like, come on, man. We was in it. But the ones that pan out way outweigh the ones that don't work because you usually get some really nice moves in that direction because it's basically telling you that everybody's going that way. You may be a little late to the party. Like I said, you're not at the bottom, but you're like, oh, that's what we're doing? Okay, well, say less. Let's see how far you go. And along the way, you can take your profits. Some of them will be bigger than others. Any questions so far? Because I mean, this is a very simple strategy.
Yes. How do you know when to get in? Maybe I missed that part. I just joined.
No
So
problem. So I actually wait for my candles to close because just like the MACD, the price action is going to do whatever it wants to do. But once the 6 and 17 crosses over and closes on that candle, I'm taking the trade and I'm going to sit in it until I either make profit or the EMA crosses back against me.
So what time frame do you use when you get in?
It depends, right? So you can use one chart if you want to, but I like to use multiple time frame analysis. So like if I say like the 15-minute is, if I'm day trading and the 15-minute is say overbought, right? And it's starting to get weak, I will look down on like say the 5-minute and look for an EMA crossover to the downside. It says hitting my resistance on the 15-minute. I'm like, okay, and it's starting to get a little weak. Let me go down to the 5. Let me see if I can get across to the downside. And then boom, quite often you get these nice moves. That makes sense?
It does. Thank you.
Nah, not a problem. Anytime. Give me 2 seconds, guys. I'm sorry. All right, I'm back, guys. And so yeah, at one point in time, I was taking every crossover. And sometimes, I still look to see them because I like to play my MACD stochastic strategy right now for the most part. But I do be missing my easy. These are the easy entries, like these 6 and 17 crossovers. They work so often that you really could just use them. Because when you start plotting them out, and once again, I want you to back test any time frame, back test when you get these crossovers and see, was I in profit at least a little bit at some point in time? I'm trying to find one that was like kind of messed up, like it crossed over, then it crossed right back over here, go area right here that kind of would irritate me. And you're going to see them cross over back and forth on the lower time frames a whole lot faster than you do on the bigger time frames. Because when they cross on the bigger time frames, that's a lot of people moving in that direction. So it's less likely you're just going to just drop back in the opposite direction. But on the lower time frames, you're going to have a lot of these crisscrosses areas where it'll cross and then cross back down and then cross back up, and you'll be like, I'm in it, I'm out of it, and taking like 2 or 3, 4 losses at a time, back to back to back, and you can get frustrated. But then when that one hits, and you never know when it's going to hit when you're just playing one chart on a lower time frame, when that thing hits and goes, you can make up a lot of those losses if you're going to play this on the lower time frames. But if you're definitely on a lower time frame, I would suggest you going looking at the higher time frame and seeing where it's at, as far as your support and resistance in the direction that's really going, and kind of playing with that if you can. Does that make sense, guys?
Yeah, yes, it does. Can you add
Yes.
the stochastic RSI? I just want to see it run parallel with this.
My man. See, you starting to see it. So, like, let's say this came out of oversold, and I told you the stochastic RSI and the MACD are going to happen before you get these crossovers. But when you get them out of oversold or overbought, it shows up and it helps out a little bit. But the EMA crossover is the last thing that's going to happen after the stochastic and the MACD. Like you see, you got the stochastic MACD cross here. Cool. Now we got direction. Now the 6 and 17 is that extra confirmation that we're really pushing in that direction. Heavy. So when you get that confirmation, overbought, came down, MACD, could have caught it in here, but suppose this bounced off of it and still continue to push up. That can happen. But when you got that 6 and 17 crossover happening after that, look at that. Stochastic went into momentum. This thing dropped heavy.
So the stochastic leads the way, and then you can use the crossover as a confirmation for entry.
Exactly. If you like. If you like.
Oh, you guys, this is what I used when I was trading futures and I was almost funded. I was like $180 away, but I kept over trading, being greedy, because I was just like, oh, this is just, and so yeah. I was $180 away from being funded. So, but yeah, it works because I was killing it.
And she'll be funded by next week using the same 6 or 17 strategy. She will be. That's
And
guaranteed.
will.
Yes.
That's it.
Which one you like, Charmin, better? Futures or options?
I like them both though, but I
Okay.
like futures because it's just fast. Like you can get in the market and like really be done for the day. Like once, your one hits that you're looking for and you're just done.
Okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm beginning to like futures more and more. I like options too, but futures just get it one and done, and then you can go away from the charts. Futures take longer.
That's what you like better?
Yeah, sorry. Options seem to take longer. Futures, you just gotta do, and then you're good for the day.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
But the other thing about futures, hey, is that if you don't have good stop losses, it will eat your whole account, right? When you go into options, your contract is your stop loss.
That is true.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. And then I like the other thing I like, because since I'm up so early, like how my work schedule is, like futures, like you can really do it in the middle of the night Or that,
Mhm.
that first pop in the morning and just really be done. Like,
Yep.
I like that aspect too.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You all make it sound very enticing.
It is. It's fun. It's fun.
is.
I ain't gonna
It
take
is.
Okay.
I
so
really thought somebody was lying. And then I came over here. I haven't even been over to the options live floor. I can't remember last time I went there. And I love it. It's just,
Yeah.
this is so much easier.
Yeah, I'm
Is
on
it
both
Christy?
still. I'm on both floors still. So
Okay.
oh yeah.
Hey,
Futures.
Christy.
Good morning, my love.
Usually
So
start my day with features, and then as soon as we have the first few hours of options, then I'm back in features for the rest of the day. Sorry,
yeah,
Steve.
yeah, no, it's
Yep.
fine. It's fine. Listen,
that's me.
we here together. I love it. I love it. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. We good. You guys are good. I love it. You know, this shows y'all, you know, y'all get in, y'all learn, and then y'all be like, oh, I like this, you know, and then y'all take it and y'all run with it. That's what we're here for. That's what we're here for, to help y'all succeed. So it's a blessing. So I wanna, who trades Tesla? If nobody does, I just wanted to show, this is a 4-hour chart on Tesla. Yes, ma'am.
So your MACD and your stock RSI setting default, or you change the setting?
The stochastic RSI is default. My stochastic RSI is default, but my MACD is custom to something I learned from one of my hedge fund managers. It's 532.5 for the MACD. This makes it tighter with price. This rolls tighter with price action.
1 second for screenshot, please.
No problem. Go ahead, take it. Y'all really like that MACD. Y'all really enjoy that. That class was cool, huh? Because I'm teaching something totally different. Y'all like, man, let me see your MACD settings, man. Forget this. I want to see that MACD settings. That MACD, it works well. And I love it for the divergences. It definitely helps me see weakness in the market. All right, you got the big brother, you got it?
I got it. Thank you.
Oh man, no problem, brother, no problem. All right, so this is the 4-hour chart on Tesla, right? A lot of people trade Tesla. So I want to ask you guys, I'm going to point out these crosses. Now, if you can hold Tesla for some time, because you have to hold this for probably a couple of weeks, months, just because this is probably since when, July? Yeah, we're in August, so this is a month worth of time right here on this MACD cross. Now, I don't like gaps. I don't like taking crossovers into the gaps. Like when we have a gap and it crosses over, that one for me is a little tricky, because if we get a pullback to fill the gap, then the EMAs are going to cross back up. Sometimes they work, but I don't like taking them like that. But the pullback was beautiful. The pullback was beautiful. And if you got this on a pullback and then took it and rolled the wave down, this was a really big play to the downside. This EMA's crossed throughout the day. This was nice and close. Let's take that one. And a couple of days later, you had a big gap. This might have been earnings or something. I don't know what it was, but that was a big move to the upside. And like I said, you need to take your profits. You don't have to follow. You can try to follow the whole thing, because look at this one. Look when this one, oh my gosh, this was a big one. We had an EMA crossover. If you want to follow the 6, as long as the 6 is above the 17, and one of our traders, he's not here anymore, but he did this. I think his was a 5 and 13, if I'm correct. Once price action crossed over the 5 and 13, he held it as long as the 5 was above the 13, and he used to make plays like this on a regular, and he's a multimillionaire. So I'm just saying, if it's good for him, it's good for me. You know, I was already doing it, but that's just the way he played, and he was on a lower time frame. But I'm just pointing out some of these crosses, just so y'all can bear witness that these things rock and roll. You're gonna make some money using these crosses. People can say whatever they want. These EMA crosses do work. It's just it's a probabilities game like anything else. Some of them gonna work, some of them not. You got to take the good with the bad. And when you back test them and look at them, you're gonna be like, wow, look at this one.
I have a
I know
question.
we
Steve,
had. Yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry, you're using the EMA, not the SMA. And is there a
Um,
big difference? Is there a big difference?
There is in the calculation. The SMAs are slower. The
Okay.
EMA stand for exponential moving average, and they are a touch slower, but the SMAs are what most institutions and hedge funds do use, are SMAs. So if you want to use the SMAs, you can. And I can put the SMAs on here, and it's not going to be that much of a difference, I don't think. But let's see. So I'm gonna change both of mine's to SMAs.
Sorry, who's the author of this indicator? There's like two of them.
Of the 10 and 1 MA?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Let's see, I think it's Hakanashi or Haman. Oh, it's
Hina.
Himanshu.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah,
Gotcha. Thank you.
no problem. So here is the SMAs, and they seem to work just as fine. I'm gonna do
I
my
watch some of Oliver Velez's videos, and that's what he uses, the SMAs.
say it again.
I was saying Oliver Velez uses some. He uses SMAs.
Yes, he uses the SMAs. He doesn't. He said he uses all of them, and he said the SMAs work just fine. So he likes to use the SMAs.
Isn't
So-
waiting for crossovers a little delayed?
Yes, it is.
Oh, that
It is, JD. It is.
Oh, damn it. You found out.
I
it's
was
me.
just about to.
Welcome back, JD.
Yes, it
Good
is.
morning, my neighbors.
Good morning, sir. Good morning. And you're gonna be on YouTube with that voice. I love it.
I gotta get like a voice changer. I gotta figure it out.
Yes.
Newbie
So, yeah,
trader.
we definitely we went over the recap of the stochastic and MACD, and then I told them that the crossover actually happens after those two. So, but if you want that confirmation of what the majority of people are doing at that point in time, those EMAs, and you get in after the close of that EMA crossing over on that candle, and you can follow the trend, and take your time and make some money. I'm going over the crossover now on Tesla over 4-hour period. And as you can see, almost all of them had made some decent money. Now, this one here, this crossover to the upside, you could have made a little bit of money on that 4-hour candle, but if you held on to it, looking for the big trend and trying to look for this, because we were in a downtrend, right? So when you got to be careful when you're taking them EMAs crossing up, because it may not be out of the downtrend completely yet. Can you still make money? Absolutely. Even on this 4-hour crossover to the upside, you were profitable at some point in time when it got up into this area. Even when it came pulled back and it got into this area, if you got in here at the close of that candle and you was holding it for a couple of weeks, you was up at some point in time. You got to do trailing stops when you're in profit. You might want to say or hard stops in profit so that you don't lose money. But it's a risk that you're taking if you're trying to follow the whole trend. And as you can see, sometimes when it crossed back down, that was a nice move to the downside. Even on the pullback, it came down some more. This crossover to the upside, you had one 4-hour candle that was higher than this green candle, and you would have made some money, but it wouldn't last long. The next day, you would have been back down, and then you take that crossover when it comes back down, and after that, it was like my man Oliver Velez to the downside. But I want you guys to back test this strategy, because it is a simple one. And if, like I said, if you use multiple time frame analysis, and you can catch it with support and resistance and see, okay, they couldn't pass this area, and then it turned around, and then imagine this is a 4-hour. What day is this? This is back in September of last year. So as I'm going back on this 4-hour chart, we just can see how, even if you're swing trading because you don't have time, you work during the day or what have you, but you can get that alert that it's crossed over, and you can say, okay, the 4 hours crossed over at say 2:00 in the afternoon. Okay, I'm about to take a quick lunch. I can get on my phone. All I was waiting for this to happen. I'm taking a trade on my phone for a month out, and it's let it, or 2 weeks out, or 3 weeks out, 3 months out, however the time frame you want to buy, and you can get in the trade and be done. You can do this in 2-3 minutes, but you have your strategy set. I have it when I have my alerts set, I have it on candle close when I do my alerts, right? So like let's say, because I want to show y'all that too on this particular indicator, but you can do it on any one of the indicators that you have for EMAs. No, I want to do the alerts. So I hover over the 10 and 1 MA, the 3 dots here, more, add an alert. Come on. Oh, add an alert. I wanted to add why did I wait? Add indicator strategy. No. I want to add an alert. This is not, I don't want to alert on the price. I want to alert on the crossover. Something's not right. I'm gonna figure it out right now, y'all.
That'd be nice if it's able to let you know when the crossovers are about to happen.
Yeah, no, and it will. I'm just why it's not working right now? I have no idea.
Steve, just do it off the
Yeah, I
algo.
noticed last night.
Just do it off the what?
Algo. Cheat code.
No, I'm looking at EMA crossovers. I can't do an EMA crossover alert on the algo.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but for whatever reason, it's not letting me do it, and that's weird.
Yeah, I know last night I was trying to do some stuff on TradingView, looking at some SMAs and stuff, and it was lagging and it wouldn't let me change my settings on some of them.
Yeah,
so I don't know if they got something going on.
Something
Yeah.
they may have something going on in the background, because even on my MACD, like, because I usually add an alert on my MACD when they cross over, and that's not working either.
Yeah, there's something going on. I couldn't even like scroll my screen the right way the other night.
Okay, well, that's a TradingView thing, but either way, I'm sorry, guys. I would love to show y'all exactly how to, set the alert for when the crossovers happen, especially on the bigger time frames, because you're not going to be watching this on an hourly and say, okay, the hourly is finally crossing over. Let me sit here and watch this for the whole hour. You would like to get that alert.
It's showing up on my screen. Am I able to share it so we can show us how to do it?
Okay, cool. Let me set my let me set this up so that advanced sharing, all participants can share. Stop share. All right, go ahead.
Share screen. This one. Share.
Tesla was the perfect trade last week. Got in for like $1.85, got out for like $9 and held it 3 days. So I think Tesla was really good last week.
Phenomenal.
Congrats.
Congratulations. That's what I'm talking about.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Perfect. So yeah, so yours work, mine don't want to work. Okay. So you see how you have MA1, right? So you have 10 and 1 MA1 crossing. You see where it says value? Change it from the value.
Okay.
To go like 10 and 1 MA.
10 and 1 MA.
Right. So your MA1, right? Let's say that's your 6. And when it's crossing MA2, it'll let you know. Now, you see where it says trigger once per bar close?
Mm-hmm.
Now you see, now the alert will trigger every time the condition is met at bar close. So now, if you want to get real gangster, because the next candle is probably going to retrace some, you can probably wait for the retracement of the previous candle. But if you just say, hey, look, I'm just going to get into this trade, man, and if this thing crosses back up, then I want to get out the trade, or like say the previous candle's high, I can get out of that. You want to know, of course, where, never put more than you're willing to lose on any one trade, right?
Yes, sir.
So, your stop losses need to be set for, that amount of money. And I like to do structure. So I'll find out how much I would lose if it gets like above the previous bar's high, or if this EMA crosses over. The EMA crosses over is probably going to be at that bar's high or a little less than that. So either way, I would be underneath my maximum loss on that trade. So
But what if I want to YOLO like it was in 2020?
no, yeah, you can do that and lose all your money. It's all good. I've been there, done that. Be like Steve if you want to. so so there you go. So that's how you set it up as far as your setting is concerned. And you'd be good to go. You'd be good to go. It's a very simple strategy. Please back test this. And JD, I was telling them about how we actually back tested it and you set up the coding to back test it on the hourly for, I think it was SPY. It was SPY. And how much money this thing grows to over 1,000 trades. And just looking at it on this 15-minute chart, that cross to the downside on the 6 to 17 cross was amazing. But we saw that coming because what we talked about last week on the weekly with the Stochastic and MACD crossing to the downside, set all of this up anyway. So imagine if you would have took either that trade or waited for, on the hourly or the 4-hour or the 2-hour time frame for that EMA to cross over to the downside, because we already had a thought process that this was coming down.
Especially if you waited until it crossed back. Oh yeah. Yep.
Oh yeah. Or even, and if you missed it, now I'm gonna go into the Oliver Velez joint, right? So his is very simple. Oh wait, we don't have time for that. We only got 15 minutes. I probably could do it in 15 minutes. Because we do have to get ready for mindset at 10 o'clock.
All right, go ahead, do your thing. Do your thing. I'm still getting ready.
All right, now that's cool.
Nice. Thank you, man.
Nah, no problem, man. No problem, man. So this is just a different strategy than, like I said, the Mac and Stochastic is going to get you in a little faster, but this one is definitely going to say, hey, based on what you've already been doing, this crossover may lead into something bigger, It's even a greater confirmation of that move to that side. And you want to follow the trend. If the trend is changing, that's one of the bigger ways to find out when those EMAs cross. It's just telling you what people have been doing.
You want to do something fun?
Oh Lord, Jeff, what do you got? I got 15 minutes.
So why don't you put an alert? Well, your alert that you set up for that crossover, right? What was it set on? It was on the 1 hour or 2 hour?
I told just another. I'm showing him how to do it on any time frame. So whatever.
Where did he set it? When did he?
Oh, I think he was on was he on a 15-minute, Big Brother, or were you on
I was on. Yeah, I was first on 2 minutes. Then I moved from 2 all the way down to 1 hour.
Okay.
So the alert is on the 1 hour. Okay, so now I want you to go into the 15-minute. And what's going to end up happening? Actually, go back to the 1 hour. Go back to the 1 hour. Let me show you something. So you see where that crossover happened right there at that sell signal? Put a circle there. Paintbrush.
The paintbrush.
Don't click it, but the little arrow on the paintbrush, and then go circle.
Down, go down. There you go.
I just know where everything is. All right, so then just click that, and then just put a circle. Speak up a little, please. Say that again.
Speak up a little bit.
Oh, okay. All right. Is this better?
Yep.
I was too comfy. All right. So now go to the 15-minute. So the most opportune time for that, and you could see when that crossover happened, would have been what? It would have been right when the stochastic got over the, the 70 level? If I'm not mistaken, like around that area. If it got over 70, you would have got you would have missed this one because that would have been the one that gave you the crossover. So you needed that retracement. This is what Steve was kind of like telling you, right? So you see where it got oversold was roughly on the 16th around 9 o'clock. Oh, I'm sorry, overbought. Because remember, it was crossing down. So we're looking for overbought, right?
To the
So
left,
so now you can do an alert on your stochastic on the moment that it goes back on the 15-minute over that level. So the first signal is to let you know, hey, we're bearish. The second signal is like, hey, right here, we're overbought. And then look what happens when it got to overbought.
He's right. Yeah, go. Yeah, keep going. So you
that's
got the
consolidation.
crossover. Right.
That's the choppy, and you can't get your good position. You don't know what the market's doing, but as soon as it got above there, right there, boom.
Right there. after the cross down, when it got back to
Even
overbought,
before
now
the hidden bearish signal, everything.
see that? See that?
Right
You
there, that
see that?
overbought.
Mhm.
So now connecting with some of the stuff that Oliver Velez talks about, right? You want everything in time frame confluence. So your 1 hour is already at that level of oversold that is saying, hey, guess what? We're about to go ahead and dump this, right? Move your actually that's my chat. I was gonna say move your chat. All right, so now you see that's the opportunity right there. So you could actually set an alert when the stochastic says or go to alerts right on it. Boom, click there, alert, boom, boom, right?
Stochastic is
And then you
above.
could be like once per bar close on the 15-minute, right? When the K, change that to
Yeah, it's okay. That's fine.
value. No, the value. You
Oh, the
set
value.
Yeah, set it to set. No, leave it there. Leave it there. Leave it on
Okay.
value, but leave it on 70.
Change the time.
Like change
Yeah.
the number to 70.
I was
And
crossing
then
up.
I want you to and crossing down.
You wanted to win crossing down? So okay, because okay.
While it's above the 70, sorry,
Mm-hmm.
crossing up the 70. You're right. So change crossing to crossing up. So it's going to let you know that we finally got to cross that level. Now you can start watching. So instead of watching for your 15 minutes to be oversold for like, I don't know, it took what, a day and a half for it to be done. Now you have an alert that says, hey, we crossed up. We're in that overbought territory. We know we're already bearish. So unless this stochastic is pinned, we should be able to get something to the downside. So go ahead and put, all right, get like something that can remind you what this alert is for. Put on their alert name like get ready to sell out of overbought or something, something that you can remember what it means.
And this is a great combo if you've missed the EMA crossover. Like so that EMA crossover to the downside, you can say, okay, I missed the cross, right? Now I want to get, but I want to still stay in this play because this may go down for a while, especially if you saw in a bigger time frame that we've already been pushing down. Now, exactly what Jeff said, you can just wait until this stochastic is overbought in that downtrend that you already, that for the first time you missed the cross down. Dang, I missed the cross down. I would like to get back in.
Yep.
So you can wait for this pullback, or you can wait when you get into an overbought situation in a downtrend, perfect time when it starts to roll over to get in, to go back down, to continue and join in on the fun to the downside. This is beautiful. I love it.
So now hit that create, and then look at what it did when it got above that 70, right? It got above 70, it would have triggered you somewhere. Now keep going over. It didn't get over 70 to the 16th. Keep going. So you got your first alert on the 15th, letting you know that the 617 has crossed over. But you would have got your alert somewhere around the 16th. Well, not the cross itself. Remember, it's the value crossing the 70 level on the stochastic. It's letting you know that we're in that area or range, which would be like, it's just to a point where the market has pushed this up, and you see what the CC squeeze kind of gave you a hidden bearish divergence. So it's basically telling you whatever uptrend you're seeing here, that shit. Oh, sorry. I'm saying,
So gonna mess up my YouTube algorithms.
But that poo-poo platter, that uptrend will not survive. And then you get confluence with the cheat code algos, EMA clouds. Everything is basically telling you it needs to cross the EMA clouds to be really bullish. And you could see it could not get past the EMA clouds. So what ended up happening? The moment it crossed down, that would have been your entry. No, back at the 16th, that one, right around 9:15-ish. So you're talking about from the 15th. So you got a signal late on the 15th or 14th going into the 15th. Then the day went by, people try to push it down, but guess what? It was oversold. So you're buying low to sell lower. So what ends up happening? Oh, I'm down like 30% of my SPY contract, and I don't know why. Well, you do know why. If you actually look at your oscillator, the oscillators, then you know, hey, they needed to reset. That's why when we be on the future story, we're like, I want to see the 1 minute reset, right? It cycle back over. I needed an overbought area so it could come back down. I need the 15, and this is your example. I need the 15-minute to be overbought for me to take it serious. And look what ended up happening. Do a measuring tool, which is in the area where, next one down, that one, click that, and then price range all the way in the bottom.
That's right. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Now look where from where it crossed. Back up a little bit. Nope. No, around 9 o'clock. No, you went too far. Where crossing down. If you actually
Crossing down.
The stochastic crossing down.
Yep, right there. So
Okay.
take that measurement all the way to where it's oversold. Don't worry about the EMAs. Don't worry about all that. Yep, about right there.
Right
See,
there.
no, too far.
Go to the price action. Go to the price action.
No,
The bottom of the red candle. Right. Yeah. So go a little bit lower. Right up a little lower. Yeah, right there.
Right there. See, that right there is a 2 deviation in the money move. So if you got it in the at the money, you would have been in the money 2 deviations.
That's a $2 move. Yeah.
That's a $2 move, right? Now imagine that you said, okay, now that I got so much cushion, I'm going to take something off the table. You have multiple contracts, right? Let's just say you have 4, just to make the numbers easy, right? As soon as it got to sold territory and you see it start to peak, you probably could get somewhere around that $2 to $2.64 cents, right? And then you could take something off the table, right? And then you leave maybe 2 runners. And then your next rule could be, hey, as long as it doesn't cross the cheat code EMA cloud, I'll stay in it. So go ahead and do from the EMA cloud with the same price. Yeah, move that over. And then do from where that wick at the EMA cloud down to oversold again. Bring it up. No. Just do it from start from the top. Like get the one.
Drag the whole box. Bring the whole box.
Okay, you can do it that way. That's fine. Keep going. It still didn't get to overbought until there. No, keep going. It didn't get to overbought. Remember, it went to oversold. Sorry, overbought, but I need to oversold right there. Keep going down. Keep going. It's in oversold territory where it peaks.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to squeeze that down a little bit so you can get more. Oh, all the way down to that caution candle. Now, I want you to move the left corner all the way to where it wicked in the EMA cloud. All right, bring it down.
Bring it down.
No, you're too far. Too far.
Right up. Yeah, go where it touched that red cloud.
The red cloud. Do you see how
with the cell signal, like with the cell signal, where the cell signal is at? Go to the left.
Oh, okay.
Right up in there, a little bit high, right there. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So you see where it did almost a $10 move. So if you were at the money, you went 10 deviations into the money. And that's just off of the fact that I took some of my money off the table. Now I have nothing but runners in my hand. So I'm not even playing with my money anymore. And this is what Bucky talks about a lot. Now I'm playing with house money, right?
Yep.
And this is all with following the oversold and overbought areas. Look at what happened every time it tried to get to overbought. They was like, we ain't letting this happen. Bang, it comes down. It never got to oversold because they kept on buying the dip every time so you got in from the 14th-ish, and then now we're in the 18th, and we're getting to the point where it's finally oversold.
Yeah, man.
Every time it got to that over on the 15-minute, every time it got close to overbought, there was like, oh, opportunity, bang. Oop, opportunity, bang. And you would have got every one of those alerts because it would have signaled bar closed. We got over that overbought. You come back to the chart. Well, I'm still under the EMA clouds. All right, maybe it's going to go ahead and continue. That way you can ride your runners.
And you see how he keep busting his head on those EMAs, right?
Mm-hmm.
At overbought in a downtrend.
If there's anything I learned a lot from Bucky, take money off the table when you have the opportunity.
Yeah. Take your money off the table and let the runners do their thing.
Yeah, it may never come back. All right, let me go open the floor.
Go get that floor ready.
Y'all on the other side.
Thank you.
You
Good
very
looking,
welcome.
Jeff. Good looking. Thank you, big brother, for sharing your screen. Appreciate it.
Thank you for the knowledge as well. I have a light bulb moment already, and we ain't even started the day yet.
Nah, that's it. Yeah, I just get y'all ready, man. I just get y'all worked up. I saw Bucky was in here, and He had his hand up, but I think he had took off.
You got chat questions also.
Oh, we got chat questions. Oh, all right. Let's run to the chat real quick. Oh, Steven, no, overbought is sell, and then oversold is buy, in a sense. Not every time, of course, but when everything is lining up. But when things are in overbought, we're looking for it to turn around and go down. And when it's in oversold, we're looking for it to turn up and, you know, possibly. Everything is possible, because if it's over in the overbought section, it can, if it stays in there and starts going sideways, that means there's momentum to the upside. So you don't want to just buy it anytime it's just overbought to go down, you know, and the same thing for oversold. You don't want to just buy it. You want to wait till it's starting to curl up and then have other confirmations, your candle patterns. Are you at support or resistance? Is it bouncing off of EMA? You know, these things. So, all right. So D Higgs, what's up? For a swing trade, do you look at the daily and enter on the 4-hour EMA cross? You can. I like to go down to maybe about the hourly, because when I see things happening on the daily or the 4-hour, I like to go down to the hourly and look for the cross on the hourly. Or you can even do the 2-hour chart as well.
Got it. Thanks for the confirmation.
Not a problem. But please back test it. Please back test it, because the daily and the 4-hour is not that far apart, but you may be able to, you will get an indication on the 4-hour before you do on the daily. But I already know that it's going to happen on the hourly before it happens on both of those. But, you know, for your own confirmation, test it out. Go back in time. Look at any chart that you want to look at that you trade often, but make sure it moves good, like Amazon, Tesla, you know, SPY, QQQs, you know, NVIDIA, you know. Matter of fact, let's go look at NVIDIA real quick. Oh, it's 10 o'clock right now. All right. We are out of time, guys. I hope you guys had some fun. Like I said, this is a very simple strategy. This is not one of those super complicated things. I try to make things as simple as possible. And, you know, what I've learned, show you guys. So, and hey, what's going on, brother?
What up?
How you feeling, King? We are recording, so please don't make the mistake that Jeff made and using Profet. Now, I'm just joking. We're good. How you feeling?
I'm not smooth, man. You know, it was a long night.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, we about to get ready to go get a mindset on though with you and brother Jeff. So everybody, please. Neil, you wanted to say something, or you just checking in?
I'm checking in.
All right, cool. All right, everybody, man. You know, and on YouTube, go to cheatcode.com, get registered for free. We have a lot of free information for you guys. Just come on in and check us out. And we're here to help everybody make money, any way we can with the knowledge that we have here to give it to you guys. A lot of it is for free so that we all can prosper together. So we will see you on the next one. I will talk to you later. It is time for Mindset. Later, y'all.
Thank you.
No
Thank
problem.
Hey, they got questions, or are you gonna repost this recording somewhere?
Yeah, I need to actually put it on my YouTube channel. Stop playing.
All right.
The EMAs I'm using are the 6 and 17 EMAs. But these work for the 5 and 13, the 9 and 21. You know, you can play with your EMAs. Those don't have them too close.
I'm gonna hold you accountable about this video on the YouTube channel, sir.
Yeah, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. All right, everybody.
See y'all in Mindset.
See y'all in Mindset. Later.